Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Tuesday, December 28, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Milwaukee Bucks vs Orlando Magic. Milwaukee is averaging 110.5 points per game. They scored 117 points in their last game, making 47.3% of their field goals and 36.4% of their three-pointers. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the way for Milwaukee with 36 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Chris Middleton finished with 17 points and 7 assists, while Jrue Holiday added 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Milwaukee has also played well defensively, giving up 107.1 points per game. They gave up 113 points in their last game and will need to do a better job if they want to get the win. This game is a serious mismatch on paper. The Magic were considered a struggling team when everyone was healthy, and now, things are even worse with their roster in shambles. They'll have the misfortune of running into a Bucks team that's finally healthy and looking to go on another championship run. It's a Bucks team that has already beaten them soundly twice this season. Orlando doesn't have the interior defensive presence to slow Giannis Antetokounmpo down, much less stop him. They don't have the defensive presence to stop anyone right now. The team is giving up buckets like candy canes on Christmas, and opposing teams are raining three-pointers on them at a 37.6% clip at the Amway Center. Our first betting advice is to pick Milwaukee Bucks to cover the spread. Turnovers are a real problem for them this season, and they have to cut down on them if they have any hope of beating good basketball teams. But then again, turnovers happen when you have a young team. The Magic are also missing multiple key contributors with leading scorer Cole Anthony, Mo Bamba, Terrence Ross, Chuma Okeke and Jalen Suggs, all being listed as out for this game. So the Magic are dealing with growing pains, COVID and injuries. The scoring for the team has been bad all season, and it won't get any better with multiple key players on the shelf. This is one of those games where they're going to need the Bucks to miss shots, while also avoiding the same turnover party they had against Miami. I don't have much faith in the team defensively, with opponents averaging 47.3% shooting against them in their home building. It isn't impossible, but they'll need a lot of help to hang around in this game. Our second betting advice is to pick under the total. Quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Washington Wizards vs Miami Heat. Raul Neto joined Beal and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope are in health and safety protocols. Rui Hachimura, who has yet to play this season, dressed for the second straight game but didn't play. Jordan Shackle, signed to a 10-day contract on Tuesday, made his NBA debut. Similar to the Heat, the Wizards are forced to put together G-Leaguers to fill out their roster. Jimmy Buckets is back on the floor. He led the Heat in scoring against the Orlando Magic, but his shooting was clearly off after being sidelined for multiple weeks. The good news for Miami is he still has a proven sniper in Tyler Herro to help pick up the slack as he gets acclimated back to game action. Trust me, it's a better situation than the one right now in Washington. Bradley Beal is listed as questionable and could return on Tuesday, but there's no certainty we're going to get the best version of him. Conditioning could obviously be a problem with him just now coming out of the COVID protocols. It's always something to consider in these situations. He might not even play for full minutes. Gabe Vincent and Max Strus each had 13 points for Miami. Kyle Lowry, protocols, remained sidelined, and Miami was without assistant coaches Chris Quinn and Karen Butler for virus-related reasons. Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro was ejected late in the third quarter against Orlando after picking up his second technical foul of the game. He also received one midway through the second quarter, a double technical. Although mired with COVID and other injury concerns, the Heat just keep rolling. Our first betting advice is to pick Miami Heat to cover the spread. Bam Adebayo is still out, along with Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker and Markieff Morris. So there are still key pieces missing from their lineup ahead of Tuesday's meeting with the Wizards. Bradley Beal possibly returning could make things complicated for the Heat due to the explosive nature of his offense. Butler and Tyler Herro are both averaging 20-plus points per game, and the team might need every bit of that scoring in that scenario. But outside of Beal, there won't be much that scares the Heat about Washington. The defensive slippage should also provide opportunity for them to get their offense going. They aren't going to be holding teams to only 83 points on the regular like they did the Orlando Magic. Our second betting advice is to pick under the total. Philadelphia 76ers vs Toronto Raptors. Washington scoring leader Bradley Beal sat out his second game while in the NBA's health and safety protocols. The 76ers took advantage of that, putting the defensive clamps down on Montrezl Harrell and the rest of the Wizards teams. Maxey and reserve forward Georges Niang returned after clearing health and safety protocol. It's time for the Sixers to return the favor for their November loss. Things will be different in the rematch with Joel Embiid being back on the floor and the Raptors roster decimated with injuries and COVID absences. Just look at how badly the team got hammered on the road by the Cleveland Cavaliers. You rarely see beatings like that in the G League. It just shows how much the Raptors are hurting right now with their roster. They're hopeful to have Pascal Siakam, Khem Birch and Gary Trent Jr. back on Tuesday, but that's far from a certainty at this point. And it won't make up for the fact that there's still a long list of players that won't be on the floor. Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris will make a mess of Toronto's front court. They'll run up a scoreboard by feasting on buckets down low and taking advantage of the Raptors' shorthanded roster. There are no certainties Toronto will have any answers on the offensive end of the floor. The Raptors have 10 players in the NBA's health and safety protocols, including top scorer Fred VanVleet, rookie Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam. It was Cleveland's largest victory margin of the season and the first time Toronto has lost by more than 17 points in 2021-22. Toronto's 8-man active roster had never been together until holding a brief practice on the main court at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse before the game. They hope to get on track at home against Philly. Our first betting advice is to pick Philadelphia 76ers to cover the spread. The Raptors need all of the help they can get after their embarrassing 144-99 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers on Sunday. Yes, I understand their roster had a lot of vacancies, but you rarely see a beatdown like that one at this level. It looked like the 6th round of the Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul fight. The Raptors were down on the mat and out for the count. They'll have another tough fight on their hands in Tuesday's meeting with the Sixers. Joel Embiid is one of the biggest nightmare matchups in basketball, and Toronto could potentially be without their starting front court again. It could create problems on the interior portion of their defense, which is yielding 53.3% shooting on average in their last 3 games. And the offense has been a problem all season. However, judging by their recent performance against the Cavs, it could be an even bigger issue without multiple key players. The Sixers can't spell consistency this season on defense, but they're also no pushover of an opponent either. The Raptors need to get healthy fast. Our second betting advice is to pick under the total.